With Gunji. You said, I'm going to do some stuff really. I wanted to, but I haven't tried it. I think we were talking about what you were planning to do this year, maybe. There's some things that I've been wanting to do, or been wanting to get to. There's some things that I've been wanting to get to that I'm going to focus on this year. The reason why I'm telling you this is because a lot of times when we speak English in like the US, for example, we're a bit more direct. What I see is, I'm going to do some stuff really I wanted, but I haven't tried it. You can say that it's technically not wrong, but normally our sentence structure is a little bit more direct in the US. So I'm just trying to kind of influence you to be more direct. A lot of times people will say, oh yeah, kinda. It's a kinda thing, and then it's like, it's not really necessary to say it's a kinda thing. You can just kind of take that out. There's some things I've been meaning to get to that I will focus on this year. I choose books depend on my interest or the trend at the time. I choose books depending on I guess I choose books depending on my interests or the current trend. I forgot what this one is. It's about a kind of trend. It's about kind of trend, people's interests. I have no idea what this sentence was about. Anyways, it's about trends. You can say people's interests too, but again, it's just kind of like it's about the same thing. And again, you said kinda, so it's about current trends. And then too complicate, not about my major. You're talking about books you don't like to read. I don't like to read books that are too complicated, that have. Let's take that out. I don't like books with unfamiliar technical jargon. Jargon, Jargon, is just basically what we talk about for like if it's specific to a certain area. So you were saying like, if you were trying to read about like economics, then there's too much technical jargon that is too complicated. So we usually refer to that as technical jargon. Jargon, Jargon. We actually say it like jargon. Yeah, but it's spelled like jargon. Yeah. So anytime that you work in a specific field, there's specific technical jargon in that area. So if you join like a new, So when you get into like a new field or industry or anything like that, you have to relearn new, technical jargon. Okay, next is Sohi. Back in the days, people want to enjoy the power of Starbucks brand. Back in the days, I think this was a little bit more about like showing off. Were people trying to show off that? So back in the days, people liked to show off that they went to Starbucks. Because if you say enjoy the power of Starbucks brand, it's like, oh yes, the Starbucks power, I love it, and then it sounds kind of different. So back in the days, people wanted to show off that they went to Starbucks. Recently, many people are finding Starbucks very easily. Recently, it doesn't have to be recently, but I mean, just kind of normally, maybe. Normally, Starbucks is fairly easily to find, fairly easy to find, or Starbucks is, again, you could say on every corner, or familiar. Then you said the novel page of the book is also important. You were talking about how many pages were in the book. So the size of the book, maybe? Yeah. The length of the book, size. The length of the book is important too. Sorry, I correct myself when I do this. The last one, the kids are already familiar with the e-technology. A lot of the younger generation, because it's not just kids too, I mean, a lot of the younger generation are familiar with it's really, I don't mean to make us sound old, but like e-technology sounds like a really old term from the 90s. So a lot of I mean, because really, if you tell that to kids, they're just like, what the heck is e-technology? So just
Technology.
a lot of
Mobile.
tech. Just a lot of kids are already familiar with technology. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that to get older. It's natural. It's natural. Nick, you said that you go to coffee shops for taking some rest. You go to coffee shops to relax, maybe. Actually, a lot of people say take some rest, and I always critique that because we don't really say that. Get some rest. We say get some rest, but really, when you go to a coffee shop, when I think of get some rest, it's like, oh, I just went to the gym. I need to get some rest. I need to just kind of calm down and cool down. But when you go to a coffee shop, usually I just go to kind of relax. Next, you said, but it didn't affect me a lot, but it didn't affect me much. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I just wanted to correct that. Sophia, we're the fourth country in the world that consumes Starbucks the most. We're the fourth highest country in the world to consume Starbucks. I want to take an opportunity outside of my work. I want to... Now, are you talking about finding a different job or just trying to do something different?
To get some ideas of, for the future.
Okay.
Not the specific job.
Okay. So I want to broaden my experience outside of my work. Sometimes people say I want to learn something new or take some leisure learning classes. Leisure learning is just kind of like pottery or, Well, I mean, that was very generalized, but yeah. She was fighting some sort of lawsuit which was fired by the hospital, something. You were talking about the book Atonement. She was... This is kind of hard to... Okay. She was fighting... she was involved with a lawsuit. She was involved in a lawsuit with a hospital. And then you can say the details after. So she was involved with a lawsuit with a hospital because of again, you said now this happens quite a lot. You said by the hospital something, so the something is kind of not necessary. If you didn't know how to explain it, then something involved with the hospital. Yeah. Last, you said people started to be blinded somehow without knowing why. You were talking about the book. People started going blind. Yeah. Because it's like you kind of go blind slowly, usually. So people started going blind. It's like a process, I guess. Sean, you were talking about the chart pitch. You said, except the book, we can see that the other is a novel. With the exception of this book, the others are novels, or you can say not nonfiction, fiction, I guess. Yeah, that's debatable, I guess. Bill Gates has a positive looking on Bitcoin. What did I say? Whatever. Bill Gates has a positive looking on Bitcoin. Bill Gates favors Bitcoin or has a positive opinion about Bitcoin. Yeah. My major was The Economist. My major was economics. The Economist is the publication. That'd be kind of cool though. Kate, I have to wait so long line when I am there, when you're talking about Starbucks. I've got to wait in a long line, and then that's it. Just kind of make it simple. Just got to, when I get there, I got to wait in a long line, or there's a long line. We are only handling in the exhibition or event and abroad. We specialize in handling exhibitions or events abroad. I don't have a lot of time for myself, so just enjoying new place. I don't get a lot of me time. We call it me time. I don't get a lot of me time. So I try to explore these new places. And last song. Last song, yeah.
Last song, yeah.
When you walked out, just think too much, just be inspired. I think you were talking about being spontaneous.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So kind of spontaneous. Yeah.
Spontaneous.
I'd like to live life more spontaneously, like less planned. You know, you think of something, you feel something, you do it. So on the spot, right there. I want to be more spontaneous. I like to know the title Who Catch Me. I'm curious about. I'm gonna change that up.
Attract me?
Yeah. Some titles attract me. Yeah. Some titles catch my attention. Or I'm curious about titles that catch my attention. Or yeah, catch my attention is better. And last, reading is just for my enjoy. I just read for my enjoyment, I guess. It's kind of hard. My enjoy, you can't really say my enjoy.
Enjoyment.
I enjoy reading, or I read for my enjoyment. And that's our corrections for today.